Hello and welcome to the very first episode of After 5 at Jumix. So this is here where we are going to share our conversations, our very high quality conversations on what we are sharing on social media, what we are seeing on viral news, social issues, anything we can see, and we'll be discussing behind the doors of Jumix. But now, today, it is going to go out to you guys, to everyone there listening. So I'm the host, Deanna, and I have Sans with me. So we'll be talking about Instagram removing their likes and privatizing this whole thing today, right? So Sans, tell me how, after looking at so much news, what have you seen on this, this topic itself?
So far, I think I've seen some of the comments from the social media. We have people from different industries saying different things, like we have influencers taking it as a negative stuff because they can no longer see the numbers.
True.
And for business people, they are changing their strategy because now the metrics that they see will be different. So they need different thing to measure. So I think it's a big change for both the platform itself and also for people like us.
Right. So actually, if you guys don't know what is actually going to happen on Instagram, they are privatizing the like count, meaning that maybe if I were to go to Sam's profile, I wouldn't see who are the users that actually liked your post.
Yes.
Right? I can only see maybe Rachel and others.
Yes. So you will be only seeing the maybe one or two people that like your post, but not the whole numbers, right?
Yeah.
They're no longer like 500 people like this, 600 people like this.
So I won't be seeing any numbers at all below any post, right?
Yes.
Even for adverts, for sponsored posts, it's just someone and others.
Yes, correct.
We are assuming that way, right? But from what I've been reading, the CEO of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, has been saying that it's just an experiment, and they have been trying to put out this experiment into 7 countries, including Australia, Brazil, Canada, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and New Zealand. But because of how they're testing things, and I think it's sort of working because they're trying it on US.
I see.
Parts of US, and we all know when it comes to the American market, there'll be a lot of celebrities, a lot of KOLs.
Yes.
Then there is where, all these news are coming out, right?
Yes. I think the biggest impact to them is the people in the US, because I think US have the most users in Facebook, right? And they have all those big celebrity, big brands. They are spending so much money in Facebook, and that is where they will feel the pain the most.
Okay, when you mentioned Facebook, does this mean that Facebook and Instagram, they are going to do the same thing? Do you think Facebook is also going to remove?
Yes, because I actually saw someone commented that Facebook is going to follow the footstep of Instagram of removing the likes, because once they have experimented this thing, if it's worked well in Instagram, they're going to do that in Facebook as well. I think this is something that we cannot prevent. If this thing is going smoothly, then they're definitely going to apply on Facebook as well.
Okay, so I've been reading their celebrities' feedback, especially from this one. We can see Nicki Minaj. She has like 108 million followers. That's a big pie.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so she posted this on Twitter. I'm not posting on IG after this week because they're removing the likes. What should I get into now? Think of all the time I'll have with my new life.
Okay. That's funny to me because I think she's just there to get the number of likes, is it? So now she has lost the direction of her life.
Exactly.
Because there's no longer any number of likes.
It is funny when you think about it, meaning that she's just living her life. I know that she's exaggerating, but still she's like saying it into a point that you can see many users out there are just using Instagram for this vanity metrics to make them feel good, to make them feel confident and doing something right. So from this itself, you can actually see how people are using it, right? But on the other hand, we have Kim Kardashian.
Who is that?
Kim Kardashian West. She is Kanye West's wife. Yes. So you can imagine she's very active on Instagram. But she said this in a conference not long ago. She was saying, as far as mental health, it's something that taking the likes away and taking the aspects away from it would be really beneficial for people. Well, she's coming from a very, very like
Yes,
positive.
I think I agree with what she said about mental health, about the removing the numbers can really help people to, care more about themselves because they no longer need to compete for the numbers. Yeah, I think I agree with what she said.
But we have to also remember that she's also a celebrity and a source of income does come from, Instagram itself. So maybe we'll get into that later.
Sure.
But the next one that is very, very odd. So it's from Ellen DeGeneres. Do you know who's Ellen?
From the Ellen Show.
Yes, good. You're on track. Okay. So Ellen did say that why not remove the comment section as well on Instagram? So I'm not too sure.
Then we'll be left with nothing.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Pictures and nothing else.
Yeah, and nothing else. Yeah, so I'm trying to brain that too. We'll get into that. So for now, we can start with how. After doing some research and asking people around, we can start with how people see likes on Instagram. Okay. So after this research, I've gotten like a few. The first one will be recognition that you're doing something correctly. I think this is a very general thing. Like
you mean like when you get a lot of likes, that means you are doing something correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you're being verified and validated.
Recognized with the numbers of likes. Okay.
Yeah. So this is like the general idea. Then the next one is vanity metrics. Yeah, it's sort of when you give people a like, then it's like, oh yeah, you're pretty, you're hot, that's cool, handsome, looking good. More of a praise, but not in words.
I agree because people that post very pretty photo of themselves tend to get a lot of likes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's very hard to really define pretty, especially for you like a guy.
Okay.
When we're on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm a simple guy, so I see pretty things, I hit like.
Okay. But you see, for you and someone else, pretty things would be a very subjective definition, right?
Yeah.
Like some people like to see, bikini bodies. Some people like to see like, very chic, very fashionable. So it really depends. But for you I think it's very different for a guy and a girl to use Instagram.
Yes.
So when you say that you see pretty things and you like, what if you see hot guys or...
I will unfollow and block.
Okay. So you're coming from a perspective that is saying
from my perspective, yes.
you're jealous, okay.
It's just not something I want to see, so I will not do anything about it. Yeah.
Right. So you would follow people that you're interested with?
Yes, but I think I'll follow people who will provide value from their post. Right. I can learn something or something interesting. Then I will click the like button. Examples like the business people or entrepreneurs, successful people, then I will follow them for.
That is under your niche, you would say.
Yes.
Okay. But for a girl, I think we'll follow anything possible that is like shopping or hot guys, pretty girls. It's like, it's such a different way on how we use Instagram, but okay. The next one is like a motivation factor. So when you're like, when you're planning for a post, you would like to get more motivation. So the likes actually act as a motivation. Some people would say, okay, I want to hit like 800 likes. So this post that I'm doing right now, I'm preparing, I have to, plan ahead. I have to understand how to get 800 likes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is another motivational factor, people say, okay, for likes. And lastly, it's like a surface level acknowledgement saying that, you've seen this post. So when you're scrolling, double tap, my friend went to this one, okay, double tap.
Yeah, just like me, when I saw something and I wanted to let my friend know I have seen it, I'll click the like button.
Yeah. So basically on Instagram, a like could also be like a double tick.
Like a scene, like a view. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, do you think that these likes would bring anything to IG as a business? Or maybe you can start with, in your perspective of view, how is IG as a business, how they earn money?
Actually, from my understanding, IG, Instagram, how they earn money is mostly from their ads. Yeah. So when people spend on advertising on Instagram is definitely going to take money from there. So they would want more people to spend time and spend money in Instagram so that they will take money from there. So removing the likes can somehow affect the behavior of the user there. So I'm not sure how will this go for Instagram, but I think the main source of income is still from the ads. So I think the likes won't affect so much to them as a business or their income.
But are you saying that in this case, Instagram really has to buy the user's time, like just a general mobile phone user's time, to spend more time on Instagram itself?
Yes, definitely.
So that more people will go on Instagram and then more adverts will come in and buy the time
Yes.
people
correct.
spend on Instagram for more ads.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in this case, does it really matter if they remove the like? If they they private this like count or whoever data?
I mean, to them, from their perspective, removing the likes will not really affect much of their business. Yes, because I think this is not something you will not like give up something that give you money, right? So I don't think this
Yeah.
is the factor that they actually go and remove the likes.
True.
So it won't affect them as much as the people that using Instagram. Yes, that's what I thought.
So it's like they're just removing it for the sake of us users.
Yes, I
you would
think
say?
that is their goal. Yeah.
Do you think is this one of the? I think it's one of the benefits for Instagram that they are removing this to show that they really care.
Yes, I think the pros and the advantage of removing the likes is actually they can really improve the mental health of the users. You know, like some people, they really care so much about the number of likes.
Yeah.
So when, for example, I get 20 likes from my photos, but my best buddy,
Yeah.
he gets like 500 likes
Wow.
on his photo.
Yeah.
So it can some kind of trigger a jealousy or envy feeling of some people. So I think some people will feel bad when they have a low numbers of likes as compared to their friends. So removing this can really help those people that cares about numbers.
True. It's like I think it affects girls more.
Yes,
Especially
definitely.
when you see like girls having like thousands of likes and then you look at yourself like a potato. So it really affects. I think I wouldn't say that it doesn't affect me, but it doesn't like influence me 100%. But sometimes when I see, I'll be like a lot of question mark. Like, why this person can get, you know?
Why she deserves so
Yeah,
many likes and you don't
and
get.
I'm like, okay, I'm just a potato. It's okay, it's fine. But I'm totally cool with that. So with this being said, I think from a business point of view, IG is like increasing the quality of content people are posting. Without the like count, you can imagine actually when you look through Instagram right now, you are seeing a lot of likes but very, very little engagement.
Yes.
And with how Instagram is as a business, you don't spend so much time on Instagram anymore. You just like double tap takes like how many seconds? Like 1 second.
1 second.
Yeah, and when you are really, posting for the sake of engagement and starting a conversation, it's a whole new different thing. Is because you really have to spend time to look through the posting and really express what you're saying, like what you want to say to the person who posted it.
Yes.
So
I think the result of them removing these likes will really, encourage the people to really think of what is a quality content. And before they really publish up whatever photos or whatever videos they want to post it up, they really need to think it through and see whether is it a quality one, whether it brings value, so that people will engage with the post itself and not just hitting the likes button.
Yeah. I can see very, very like strongly from a business point of view, it encourages users to really go on Instagram longer. Like they don't just go in and scroll. That's what
Yes.
like what our culture is, our habit is right now.
Yeah.
But next time when we don't get to see this, we don't see the numbers anymore. It's more about, oh yeah, this person is doing this. Why not ask more about it?
Yes, I agree.
It's a very different point of view. Yeah, I think this is one of the very positive traits of how they're doing this. But in terms of this, there are also negative things, especially for KOLs, right?
Yes. I think for KOL who previously, maybe they have bought some, fake likes, bought some
Yeah.
from software,
Yeah, I
they're going to
understand.
get hit very hard now because all those numbers mean nothing already. So people will now see and measure depending on their numbers of followers and the engagements. And marketers will now see their conversion rate or maybe how many people actually view or complete a video view from their page.
Yeah.
So the likes, removing the likes for them is going to hit them hard for this kind of influencers. But of
Yeah.
course, on the other hand, you will have influencers who are actually doing quality works.
Yeah.
So
I would
think
say
from there-
micro-influencers would be very happy.
Yes,
right?
definitely. People who produce quality content,
Yeah.
but they don't have the numbers yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will be like on the same level as those big profiles, big KOLs, because they don't see the numbers anymore, meaning that it's really about the quality and the content that they're posting.
Yes, content-wise, I think I agree with you.
Yeah, and micro-influencers, actually, a lot of marketers are always saying that micro-influencers, they are not so effective and all that. What's your point of view in this case?
I think micro-influencer is very important these days, because some of them, they really go niche into certain industry. They produce content that's very deep down and not very wide categories, like I post lifestyle, I post this and post that. They really cover one industry and they go deep on that subject. And when people like us, that we, for example, other businesses that they really doing something that is very specific category, they would want to hire this micro-influencer because they really go deep into their subject. And the target market is very specific and very targeted. So I think this group of micro-influencers can become better with these changes.
Yeah, I think as marketers, we did like experience engaging with micro-influencers, and we can see how they're putting a lot of effort and investing a lot of time to come up with a certain content, rather than, those. I wouldn't blame the big profiles for not spending so much time, because they have so many clients and they only have the same amount of time as normal people do. So with that being said, I think the bigger profiles will also struggle, because they really have to balance things up. Like, to balance the content that they're posting, their time and their clients, they have to make all their clients happy and all that. So I think this is going to be a struggle for them.
But I think in a way, it actually encouraged them to, really put effort in whatever they're going to push out. It's no longer that you simply take a photos and spend 5 minutes just because you are serving your clients in this case. So you really need to put some effort to see what kind of content that your followers want to see. So you really need to think it through before you post up your photo. So you'll get engagement and comments, and instead of just vanity metrics like the likes.
Yeah, true. So in this case, I think a lot of big profiles are turning into marketers, lor.
Yes, in a way.
So we are losing our jobs. That's why now we are doing this podcast, right? To open another way.
Yes.
But yeah, I think everyone will be like, for content creators, they have to think as in a marketer kind of based on seeing how business could get a value out of their post.
Yes.
Right? In short. So another thing that I want to really mention on this Instagram removing their likes is that one of the negative thing is, I really don't see how, I mean this may be indirect negative cons, but I don't see how every time something is wrong, you just have to remove it.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like if you've read the Netflix news.
You mean like I push out a feature that's not working well, then I remove it?
Yeah, once you have negative impact in something, then you have to remove it. Like the people responsible of creating it has to remove it. But if you think of it, like 10, 20 years ago, when there's no social media and all that, when someone or some shop is doing something wrong, should they stop doing it? They don't, right? It's more of you as a customer to stop patronizing them.
Yes. But from what I see, I don't think they are removing this feature because it doesn't work. I think it's because they really notice the problems of these kind of numbers affect the mental health of some people. And I don't think they want these people to feel bad. They want to save these people, So they are removing this feature for the greater good, I would say. Yeah.
So it's like maybe they have been through a lot of tests and seen a lot of
definitely
data.
They can see all the big data inside of their platforms, and maybe they really go in deep and see how people really have been negatively impacted by the numbers. And so they made this decision to remove it. I think I quite respect that decision.
Yeah,
actually.
because it's a big change, and they're not getting anything so directly. It's just a test, like an experiment.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's good for Instagram that they are actually addressing mental health issues, especially for big brands. They actually don't care about people. But now I think they're putting more compassion into this. So I think another negative thing I would think of on Instagram is that I don't think everyone is good with words. When you're removing the likes, it does mean that people will have to write a longer caption, to entice people to have a conversation with them. So for people, right, like for some creative people or something, they might be creative in ways to express their feelings or emotions in a art or illustration or song or what. But when it comes to writing, they are still lacking of. But this, to them, it is a waste, right? That if
but
Instagram
why is it
changes,
a waste? Because if you remove the likes, Do you mean like removing the likes will affect this kind of people because they don't really write so many things?
Yeah, mostly they are just like expressing it out, and sometimes when people, it's like a very hidden metrics. They don't show things with words, like describe it one by one so exactly.
But do you think this group of people, do they really care about the numbers of likes on their work?
Okay, imagine if a lot of designers, they are using Instagram as a portfolio page, right? Their profile. And when they're posting their visuals or their art on Instagram, they are looking for recognition too, right? And recognition comes from the vanity metrics, from the likes.
Yeah.
And now,
so they're actually looking at the numbers as the recognition.
yeah, especially as like a designer or something, like when I'm first starting out, I may not be able to express things in words. That's why I'm a designer,
Yes.
right?
I think that if the work is being recognized, they're going to get a lot of likes instead of hey, cool work, good work, good job. This kind of comments.
Talking about this, I've been talking to a lot of designers, and they're saying that every time they don't look at the comment section because the comment section is always like, do you want to sell old collection of notes? You know that kind of
Okay,
fake
they
comments.
get a lot of spam.
Yeah, and then some people say, cool. But cool in what sense? Like the designer doesn't need a comment like that. They want to know cool in, or is it the colors? Is it this or that? But
It's a very emotional kind of recognition, but it cannot be expressed in words. So removing the likes, now they have no way to express the recognition.
And to actually get any recognition back, to know what they're doing right and how people are admiring their work.
Yes.
Like when you're going to the art museum, imagine you just say, this is nice. But it's not the way they want to get it.
Yes.
So to be able to get a better answer from people, they have to be able to write. Right, they have to write a certain caption that they want to know. This is my thought process and all
But
that.
talking about that, I think the user itself, I mean the account owner can still see the numbers, right? It's just some other people they cannot see. Which means like designer Adam, he can still see like 100 people likes their post, but his friend, another designer, he cannot see the numbers.
True.
But I think to him, I think it's still okay unless he really want to show off like, hey, see this work, I got like 500 likes on this art or something like that.
But in this case, it also says in a way that when Instagram is removing the likes, then we as users won't really want to like that often. I think it's like a thing where
we also get used to the numbers that we will.
Why we want to like, because no one is going to see anyways. So it really depends on how this change is going to influence the users, but this might be a possibility of people not liking anymore, right?
Yeah.
Then they have to really comment.
Yes, I think, because there's no more other action that can show the people, like I want to give this guy an encouragement because his work is so amazing. I would really take the effort to leave a comment instead of just hitting the like button.
But with this being said, meaning that you will be like maybe you can share this certain post on your own story, and you write a very nice, praiser of how you think of their work. So you are sharing with intent. For example, if it's you see someone with a very good art, then to be able to let people know that this person is doing a good thing, would you share it on your story?
That really depends on the quality of work. If it's really very outstanding, yes, I think I will do that.
So
but at the very least, I would drop a comment. I will no longer do the double click to
double
like.
tap.
Yes.
Okay. So that is like the negative part, but I think it's not very confirmed yet because we haven't really seen how it's going to
It haven't been launched in Malaysia as of now.
But now that they are saying it's a test, do you think it's going to ever be a test?
Since it's already launched in 7 countries and US itself, I think this thing is going solid. I think it's going to take effect like a permanent.
Yeah, since they're already like investing so much time and effort into it, I think, So in terms of this, let's break it down for Instagram users, influencers, and also for a marketer like us, how it's going to change how we use Instagram in future.
Okay, I think in a end user perspective, some of them they will now feel less pressure using Instagram. Like some people really like to compare the numbers
like
of likes. Like we mentioned just now. So their mental health will be better right now because there's no longer need to compare. And also there will be the end of those kind of posts that you see like, give me a like, 1 like equals to one life saved. This kind of BS post, right? So that the numbers no longer works. So this kind of not quality posting will be reduced off,
Yeah.
right? And you also have more privacy because sometimes, when I like someone post, I don't want my friends to see it or something like that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you don't want your girlfriend to see him. It's not about your friend, right?
Yeah,
So,
this kind of privacy things, it will be improved because you no longer see who are the people that like these posts. Yes.
So now you can just like freely. It's such a
Yes,
so everyone, you all don't need to be afraid that your girlfriend or
just go
boyfriend
and hit
will-
the like button.
just hit it. Okay. So in terms of influencer or KOL that's using, like a very big source of income actually comes from Instagram itself for people like that, content creators.
Yes.
So how is it going to affect them and how they should really, rethink their strategy?
I think because now the numbers, they no longer see the likes number. Some marketers, at the basic level, they will just go and browse the influencer's profile and see how many likes they get, how many followers they get. So it might change the behavior on how marketers filter and research on the KOL. But on a deeper level, it actually doesn't matter because some marketers, they have the API access to the numbers of likes, so they can
Analytics,
still
yeah.
see the things,
Yeah.
and the influencer themselves can actually share the insights of their profile to these marketers. So it actually doesn't affect that much, but it will affect on the very surface level when they are actually doing the research.
Yeah.
When the marketers browse the posts of the influencers and see how many likes they get on each post. So I think it will affect the procedure in a way
like
of
the
how the
time
marketers
spent.
work. Yes, instead of the result. And looking at the numbers, you will then notice the marketers will now focus more on conversion or focus more on the quality instead of numbers. I think this is a good change for marketers and for influencers.
So does this mean that for those big profiles, they should really focus on getting more followers and rather
I would say yes, and maybe focus on how to really bring their clients' products into their followers and make sure their followers engage with it.
Yeah, that's very
They
true.
take action with it, whether they will go ahead and buy it or whether they will watch the video until the end and so on. They have to focus on that instead of, I will guarantee you will get 5,000 likes on this post. Yeah, that doesn't really mean nothing to the business itself, right? Yeah.
Also, like I can see where you're coming from in this case. Like a lot of people, like influencers or content creators or KOLs in general, they would take very nice photos with certain product, but most of the time you don't see the product, you just see them.
And you don't even know what the product is and what it does.
So in this case, in future, they really have to come up with content that relates to a certain product that they are advertising or endorsing, right?
Yes. They have to really think of the strategy on how to, put this content up. How do you tell a story on this post instead of just putting the products on your table? This kind of post.
Also meaning that basically all the content creators will become micro influencers. Micro profiles, because they really have to go in depth into what they really can do and
Yes,
cannot
I think
do.
this is what Instagram wants to do as well. They want quality content on their platform, so people will spend more time. So the user can see more quality posting and not just a pretty girl with a product on the table that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So they will really go and spend time to read whatever they have written, or they want to tell a story from the picture itself or from a video. I think in terms of quality, this will improve over time.
Right. Yeah, I do see this happening. Also, okay, just now you mentioned marketers. What do marketers use? For Instagram, what do they use nowadays? What they do on Instagram? In your perspective, you're a marketer, and in your perspective of view, like when marketers go into Instagram and sell their products, what are they actually? What they want to get?
Actually, first, I think the ultimate objective is still want to get the sales. But before the sale, they have to really think of the strategy, the message.
Yeah.
The content itself. What are you trying to communicate in this post? If you're posting a photo, what are you trying to say? Like what do you want the people to take action? If you're selling something, are you really communicate the benefits of it? Do you think that what you have written, people is going to read it or not? You have to really think this through before you just simply write something.
Yeah.
It will become a deeper level of planning and thoughts before you push out a content.
Yeah, before we go into that, how about we take our own profile as an example, so that for Jumix Instagram profile, what do you think is the message that we really want to pour out? Like we have been doing a lot of content and all that, but what is the message behind we really want to pour out to the viewers out there?
Okay, I think a lot of people in our industry, they just merely pushing out their services. Like They want to let you know what I do, how I do it and stuff. And for us, we are actually doing it to communicate the message that why we are doing it, why we are doing what we do. Because there's a saying that people buy why you do it and they don't buy what you do. So I think from this kind of posting, we can actually communicate the message of why Jumix exists as a business, as a profile, as a brand. And through this kind of consistent posting and so on, we are able to, you know, let the audience understand what we are doing, how we do it, and why we are doing it. And it's a long-term process that we really have to keep on pushing out quality content and content that can really contribute value to the community. It's just not posting for the sake of posting.
Like we all know, like in an agency, marketing agency, or even web design agency, is very, very saturated. In our market. So when we are posting things out, we are mostly actually selling what we have already, right?
Yes, in a way.
But what's the positive impact on how this will work for audiences that are on our Instagram?
Because in nature, B2B business in social media, you won't get a lot of number of likes, right?
Yeah, it's such a struggle. We're trying to figure out the algorithm, and then after that it works, after that it don't work.
Yes. So I think in terms of that, we need to worry less about the numbers. We can just focus on pushing out good quality content that can really contribute to the community.
In future, we have been putting a lot of effort into writing our captions, and in future when there's this like metric is gone, I think it will really give us a positive impact for not only us but to also a lot of businesses out there to rethink their strategy on how they. I think we can talk about this in the next episode on how to really.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so we'll continue with. I think we have covered a lot, right? Today on how Instagram.
So actually, what's next? What's next for Instagram? First, they remove the likes. What do you think is the next thing they might remove?
Then previously they removed the activities page, so the
one that you cannot see what your friend is doing.
Yes. I think that's a good move though, because I hardly go onto that. Because you can see who are your following doing and all that. I don't think it's necessary. That one is more of a back end thing. Like to be
just like the ticker in Facebook back then, you can see whatever your friends. So they did it on Facebook. Now they push it on Instagram.
Then it makes sense that maybe in future Facebook might actually Okay, so people are also saying that they might be removing the comments and also maybe hiding the followers count and all that.
That is a possibility.
So maybe we can cover this in the next episode. But today, I think we've covered a lot about IG removing their likes and how to actually see it and digest it as a user, as a marketer, and also as a content creator if you are.
I think we have also prepared some strategies on how to tackle this kind of changes for Instagram in 2020. And we're going to share with you guys in our next episode.
That's right. So I think it's the end of our first episode. I know it's very, very casual, and this is our first episode ever. We are not like procasters, or we are not FM radio DJs or whatever. So thank you for listening and tuning in to our podcast. And
thank you for spending so much time listening to us. And we hope you can subscribe and listen to our next episode.
We will. And if you have any comments or thoughts about the quality of our conversations or what you want us to discuss in the next episode, please
feel free to comment.
I think you can even go to Sam's profile, go to our profile.
Please let us know.
You can come to our Facebook or Instagram. Our social media handles are at jumix.com.my. It's very simple, at jumix.com.my, and you can reach us anywhere on our website, on our Instagram, and on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, anywhere possible, okay? So it's Diana and Sans. We are signing out.
See you in the next one.
Bye.